Hello everybody, welcome back once again to the Final Fantasy VI Pixel Remaster. I just wanted to go over kind of my, I guess the choices that I made in terms of leveling. So this will be, actually it's a little bit different than the videos that the video series actually that I did a couple of years ago, just because we can actually get kind of more stats. Not in terms of levels, but specifically because of Odin and Raiden, and the fact that they give you +2 speed now. So again, back when I played a couple years ago, Odin and Raiden actually both. Actually, I should say it was only Odin that gave speed, and it was only +1. But with the fact that obviously there's been changes since then, and now both Odin and Raiden give speed +2. So basically, it just makes it so that we get, like I said, a little bit more in terms of stats. So let me just go over my characters here. So I actually went quite a bit of strength, but only to 105 for lock. I was playing around with kind of like some different setups just to see how much strength you can get in, and just via gear. Basically, 105 was kind of enough. And also his magic is at 110, and then agility ended up at a 78. I think the last time that I played, I actually went just strength and then agility next, and didn't bother with his magic at all. But I actually don't really think that in terms of well, I don't even know that that's really because of the changes. I think that I think just magic is always a valuable stat, no matter who it really is. It's magic is just really versatile, right? Like you always, then you're not stuck with just one person healing or something like that, right? Like if Locke needs to, he can heal. So, and also I don't value agility as much as maybe I used to. But anyways, that is how he ended up. Go-Go isn't able to equip Espers, so this is kind of like his stats. Shadow, I went to 111 strength. He ended up with 76 agility and then 110 magic. He's actually really close to Locke. Yeah, maybe only two less agility actually. But actually quite a bit more strength. Strago ended up with looks like I went heavy agility, so I went up to 119 for him and then 110 magic. The thing with Strago is he's got his blue magic, which aren't all going to benefit from magic, but most of them do. So, or at least a good percentage of them do. And so I don't know. I never really do anything in terms of his like physical attacks with him. So, like I said, I just went really heavy magic and then agility. I should say, so I don't go much higher than 110 usually in terms of strength or magic with the characters, because this version of the game, and maybe it was always just the case that this was a good idea, but you can't go over 128 magic or strength. Those are hard capped, right? So again, there's no reason to go too high with those stats, because once you put on gear, there's a chance that you'll hit the cap, and that would be kind of wasted. So, anyways, again, that is why I only go to right around 110 for either of those stats. So Terra ended up at 111 strength, 73 agility. Oh, and then gosh, I should also point out the stamina stat in this game is generally I feel pretty worthless. Unfortunately, it would be a great stat, but the amount of basically it affects the amount of regen or poison that you take, and the problem is regen caps at, I believe it's 255, and so you're never going to get more than 255 regen or HP back on per tick of regeneration. And so I don't really find that bumping up that or increasing that stat is very useful. So anyways, so again, Terra here ended up at a 111 strength, 73 agility, and 105 magic. Mog, 111 on both strength and magic, 58 agility, so actually pretty low agility at the end. Edgar, 111 for both strength and magic, and then 62 agility. Also, I think he's pretty low, but not as low as Mog, I guess. Sabin, 109 strength, 110 magic, 79 agility. Celeste is 110 strength, 76 agility, 105 magic. I actually kept Celeste and Terra at a bit lower magic, just because with their gear options, it's a lot easier to get a bit higher. Cyan 110 strength, 111 magic, 56 agility. Gao is at 110, 110, and then 80 agility. Setzer has 110 strength, 111 magic, 62 agility. Realm is at 58 strength. So similar to Strago, actually, I just there's never really been much of a reason to bump up Realm strength, right? She's going to be casting magic generally, or using sketch or control. But anyways, 112 magic, 120 agility. For Locke, 105 strength, 78 agility, and 110 magic. Oh, I already did him. Yeah, we're at the beginning again. I actually haven't recruited Umaro yet, but I am going to go do that. And now that everybody's at level 99, Umaro is just going to start at level 99, which is going to be pretty nice. So generally, that is how I do it. In terms of actually leveling, I'm tempted to go... Yeah, I'll just show you this. Why not? We've got time. Had all this extra time to kind of mess around. So I prefer to level in Kefka's Tower. I know that's not everybody's favorite thing to do, but I really like it. I like it more than the Dino Forest. I think it's just a lot safer. Let's take somebody who is... Well, I guess... Here, let's go with Terra and... I don't know. Yeah, I guess Locke. And then we'll just toss some random people in these other groups. So group 1 is basically the group that's going to get to the leveling spot. So I'll just keep that in mind. Basically, we're looking for the Fiend Dragons. I think that's... Honestly, again, I think that it's the best place in the game to level, or at the very least, my favorite place. Yeah, a little bit annoying that you have to, you know, do this setup here with Kefka's Tower, but I don't find it to be that big of an issue. So, turn encounters off, and we'll just zip down here. The Fiend Dragons only spawn in a very specific screen, so we just have to run through the tower to get there. I'll do some gear setups too, just to kind of show you how I think it's best to set up. Maybe I'll go through some of the gear setups with the other characters too, because it's definitely not everybody is the same here in how they level. Whee. Okay. Almost there. So yeah, takes slightly longer than just, you know, plopping the airship down in front of the Dino Forest, but I do not like the Dino Forest. I think it's a lot more dangerous and more annoying. The nice thing, you know, with this game though is that there's the quick saves, although the quick saves help this spot more than I'd say the Dino Forest, right? Because that's just out on the world map and you can save wherever you want. But all right, so let's go over some of the generally I think just anybody that can use the Lightbringer has the easiest time here. It's just so easy to get your stats really where you want them to be. Generally, I think that everybody, actually it's everybody aside from Realm, wants to use the Green Beret for the extra physical evasion. And then I usually use the Mirage Vest actually for everyone as well. Basically, any magical character is going to want to start with a Celestriad Soul of Thaumasia combo. It's just... you know, it's going to be really convenient, but also you're going to want to have Ultima already learned. There's some other options, like actually the gosh, what is it from Crusader? Yeah, Meltdown is really good to level here as well. It may actually even be a little bit better than Ultima. Now that I think, oops, I got to turn encounters back on. All right, so let's do this. Now this is actually going to going to be obviously pretty quick just because we're already completely leveled, but you know, when you first start out, at least specifically here for me in the World of Ruin, I've got, or you know, most of my characters started out at level 24, and the majority of them had already a decent amount of magic. You know, they're certainly not capped out, but they start with a really good amount. So basically, again, how I start out here is it's almost everybody starts out, or at least if they can, depending on gear, and certainly the ones with the Lightbringer get to use the Soul of Thaumasia Celestriad combo. Every once in a while, these guys will hit you with, I think it's called Fallen Angel in this version of the game. But, you know, right away here, well, I should say, now that my magic is capped out, I'm just gonna, you know, one-shot these guys. Well, not one-shot, but it's kind of like one-shotting, right? One turn, they're gonna die. And so, you know, what'll actually happen, though, oftentimes is your characters will get knocked down to 1 HP. But the nice thing is these guys do fire-based attacks, and so with Paladin Shield, you'll just absorb that as HP. So then at that point, the only thing that can actually kill you here is their physical attacks. But with enough physical evasion, you'll be fine. Now Locke here is at 115. That's really, really good, right? That's almost a 100% chance to avoid or to just evade those attacks. But some people have more of an issue. So let's just go over. Mog wants to use the Genji Helm. You'll use the Paladin Shield and the Snow Scarf. And right there, you're at 255 defense, which means you're never going to take damage here. You're like literally, Mog is unkillable like this. Edgar is not as good, certainly as a lot of the other characters that that can level here, but better than some others. He's not as good as like Celeste and Terra or Locke because he just has worse evasion, but he still does okay. Yeah, so he ends up with 104 evasion. You can actually do some other things like and I didn't do this. I didn't actually think that this was necessary, but you can do prayer beads, and that means he's almost done. But basically, he can't be touched either. This is so close to 100% evasion that it's going to be really rare that you ever get actually hit. But for him, I would actually do like a Celestriad and Growth Eggs. So this is kind of how I set him up for leveling here. And again, just using Ultima Spam and then increasing his magic right away. All right, so let's remove that. Sabin is actually a real issue, and I'll just show you why. So basically, none of his weapons give him physical evasion. So that's his biggest issue. So what you actually end up doing is Paladin Shield, Green Beret, and Mirage Vest. But you can see there he's only at 62 evasion. That is just so freaking bad. I mean, he might have literally the worst equipment options of any. Actually, I think he does of everybody in the game. And so what I actually do instead, and it's a little annoying, but it actually ends up kind of being okay, is using the Merit Award on him. So then you can use the Lightbringer, Paladin Shield, and let's do the Green Beret, and then the where'd that go? Where'd my Merit? There they are, Mirage Vest. And then I do the Growth Egg. So the reason why this is actually not bad though, and I should say I leveled with magic, or I leveled Sabin's magic first, and one of the reasons why this ends up working so well, so he's actually got 112 evasion, which is pretty good with this setup, right? Oh, and I can't do that. Sorry. The thing that works so well with him though is it's because of his blitzes. So actually, you especially if you've got the Phantom Rush, you know, and Phantom Rush is easy to get, right? That's you can get that at any time during the World of Ruin. But so you go get Phantom Rush, and then he will pretty much be doing 9,999 damage, and that's mana free, right? So you don't need to do like Celestriad. You can, and that's why Sabin actually ends up kind of working out okay, right? It's because of his blitzes. So that's how I set him up, and I just did it again. Let's remove. Moving on to Shadow. Shadow's just coming. I mean, he's so good. Swordbreaker, Paladin Shield, Green Beret, and Mirage Vest. And then it doesn't really matter what you do here, but again, I would start with Soul of Thaumasia first and Celestiad. And then once you get to like 110 magic, then you can swap the Soul of Thaumasia back out for like a growth egg, right? And, you know, turn your EXP up to 4 times, and this is just going to fly. So that Shadow, again, very, very easy. Celeste is amazing as well, right? She's just going to be super easy. Lightbringer, Paladin, Shield, and again, this is basically just the same as like Locke or Terra. And same thing here, Soul of Thaumasia, Celestiad. And start out with that, and then once you've put on a couple of levels, swap that Soul of Thaumasia out for a growth egg, and just again keep up Ultima spam. Cyan, he's actually pretty bad too, and same reason as Sabin. You don't get much evasion out of his weapons, but he does have like the Mirasame has 10, which is kind of nice. I actually don't have his best weapon in the game yet, which I think might have 20. I don't remember for sure though. But Paladin Shield, you can do Green Beret, and then yeah, this is like, this will not work, right? 66 evasion. This guy's gonna get slaughtered here. So basically, you end up doing the same thing as Sabin, tossing a merit award on him, so that you can use the Lightbringer. And let's toss that Green Beret on. I don't know why I'm bothering with the Mirage Vest every time. I just like it. It's just out of habit, I guess. And this works, right? Excuse me. This works pretty well. The only problem here is his. I'll be honest. It's funny. When I was a kid, I used to really like Bushido, and it's trash. Actually, it's one of the worst. Like kind of secondary abilities in the entire game. It's just so freaking bad. Early game, I shouldn't say that. Early game, it's okay, but as the game progresses, it gets gradually worse. So anyways, this is kind of how I set him up. Again, you're not going to get a whole lot of use out of Bushido, and so you're probably going to just end up like attacking with the Lightbringer. You know, so it's tough. But the other nice thing about the Lightbringer is it still does the same damage in the back row, so... yeah, it's just Cyan is one of the toughest people to level here. Gao is a god, Genji helmet, Paladin shield, Snow Scarf, and then again, you know, do your like Soul of Thaumasia, Celestiad to start. He's got 255 defense, so he is completely unkillable here. And then swap out your Soul of Thaumasia for a growth egg once you've got, you know, even a little bit more magic. I think I started at like 59 or something here in the World of Ruin. So I didn't even bother with this combo. I just went right into Celestiad and Growth Egg, and then built up his strength. Setzer. Setzer is he's another Merit Award guy. I think that it's just better to use the Merit Award here, because he's got bad gear choices as well. Same with, you know, Cyan and Sabin, Green Beret, and Mirage Vest, and so he'll be at 109 evasion, which is pretty good, right? And then you'll just do like Growth Egg. You can also do you know, Celestiad at first and work up his magic stat, and then once you've got a good enough magic stat, then you can probably go to Growth Egg. The annoying thing about this is you're either going to be stuck using his regular attacks, right? Or you're going to have to work in some Osmos there to get your mana back. You know, if you're not using the Celestiad, so he's just a little bit more of a pain. Strago is really good. Swordbreaker, Paladin Shield, Green Beret. I'm not going to bother with his body rates. It's Mirage Vest as usual. His evasion is still not great here. You can see it's only at 86, so he can be a little bit more vulnerable here. But otherwise, you know, kind of just going to do the same thing here. Soul of Thaumasia to start out in Celestiad, and then once you've got his magic stat up good enough, then you can swap that, swap Soul of Thaumasia out for a Growth Egg. Realm is the same thing. She's Swordbreaker, She's actually got cat ear hood. This is actually the best, I regard as the best helmet in the game. Not only does it have regular evasion, like physical evasion, but it's also got magic evasion. So she ends up, I don't know that she's got the best gear choices in the game, but it's way up there. Maybe, yeah, she's up there. Yeah, I don't know much more to say about that. Same start though, Soul of Thaumasia, Celestriad, right? And then once her magic stat is good enough, swap that Soul of Thaumasia out for Growth Egg. And I think that's it. Yep, because Go-Go, well, I'll go over Go-Go, but you know, he or she doesn't really have much in terms of issues leveling. Swordbreaker, Paladin Shield, Green Beret. You'll want to do the Mirage Vest as well. And then Relics, it's the same thing. You know, again, Soul of Thaumasia, Celestriad, and then swap that Soul of Thaumasia. Actually, no, that doesn't work because Go-Go never gets better magic. And so you're pretty much just stuck there. I had Go-Go was a very, very long leveler. It actually might be a decent idea to actually level him with someone else. Because again, I always want to say he, but Go-Go's magic stat obviously isn't going to increase at all. And so having somebody else help him out is actually, I think, a really good idea. And that's it. That is everybody. Umaro is going to be basically the same issue as Go-Go, right? He isn't able to equip Espers, and so we're not concerned about his stats anyway. So that is going to be it for this one. As always, I hope the guide was helpful, and thanks for watching.